afternoon and welcome back to day 15 of Vlogtober 2021. And as you can see, I'm quite high up around the St. Catherine's Hill, and the reason for that is because I thought I'd shake things up a bit in terms of my exercise. And I'm no fitness expert or a personal trainer, but I know that over time when you're doing the same things, your progress stalls a little bit. So what I'm doing today is taking it down a bit slower, and admittedly I was hungry before I came out and I was tempted to have breakfast this morning, but I thought no, let's hold out, partly because I didn't want to get the big pan out just to scramble 2 eggs, and the small pan was dirty and I just couldn't be bothered to wash it. So I ended up having a handful of cashew nuts instead, and just before I came out I had half a teaspoon of coconut oil just to get my energy going and just to keep me going. But really, I've walked here and it's a bit colder today. You can definitely feel that the atmosphere is more damp and it's a lot more grey. I don't think we're expecting rain, but the air also feels a bit more wet, if that makes sense. So I thought I'd take it easy. I did walk here and really had to stop myself from running, but I wanted to keep my heart rate at the fat burning zone as opposed to the cardio zone, because that's the whole purpose, isn't it? And that's what I said right at the beginning, is if we carry on doing the same exercise, going at the same pace, our body gets used to it and we stall our progress. So that's what I've been walking today, and as you can see I am high up. So sometime last week I saw a woman pass me by when I was running back from town, and when I got here to do one of the intros for last week's videos, I saw her going up and down the steps on St. Catherine's Hill over there. So I saw her going up and down St. Catherine's Hill, going up the steps and coming down the side of the steps, and I thought, oh, that's interesting and I must try that. But as you can see from the clips, St. Catherine's Hill is quite high and steep, and I think there's about 101 steps or something like that, 105 or thereabouts, and I don't think I'm that fit yet. And saying that, I've come to the hill opposite and I thought it was going to be easy, and it did start off easy lower down, but then it got steeper and steeper, and I thought this isn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. And I could actually feel my legs beginning to ache sort of 3/4 of the way up, and it's good because it is progress and I can feel my thighs working, and maybe that's a different way of working my thighs strength, and I think it may be a good way of strengthening my thighs and building muscle instead of just going on the weights at home, which I really need to do but I haven't done for a long time. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to try and go up and down this hill about 3 or 4 times if I can do it, and see how it goes. So I'm nearly at the bottom of this hill, and I tell you what, if you think going up is hard, going down is just as hard. And I didn't realise how steep the hill actually was, especially right at the top where it gets really steep. And I had to be really careful, you know, slow steps and all that, because I was scared that I was going to just fall over and tumble all the way down. So I'm just wondering whether the steps are going to be easier to do, because at least there are steps. instead of just grass and mud that I can slip on. So let me see how I get on. Okay, this is the place where the hill starts getting really steep and more precarious going down. So I am halfway, and you can see the hill is over there, and I am about halfway before it gets too steep. And the fact that it's got me breathless just coming up here, I think this is my limit for today, so I'm going to go back down again and come back a few more times probably and see how I get on. But it saves me from having to go up there and risk falling and tumbling down and hurting myself. So that's my limit for today. I'll see you in a little bit.
Get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday. Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. Yeah, we only get one life. I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand. Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about
Okay,
you all the
that's a lot.
time, morning, evening, and midnight.
So it's now about 1:30-ish, I think, or 1:20, and I left just before 12. And I've gone up and down this hill at least 10 times. And although my timing is a lot longer than it normally would when I've been running, I feel like I've exercised my legs. Or I feel like I've exercised just as much as I do when I'm doing the 10k runs. And how do I feel? Yeah, I feel the same. I can actually feel the difference in my thighs, because the top of my thighs are aching a bit more than they would be normally. My lungs have definitely got exercise, especially between here and up there. Oops. Between the bottom, this that bit there, that white bit of chalk, is where I tap when I'm down there, and just as the path disappears is where I tap coming back down again. And I can definitely feel the difference in my lungs and in my legs, and I feel like I've run the same 10k, although I know that I've done 10,000 steps already. And my timing is a bit off. I think it just gave me my timing about 5 minutes ago, and I'm going at a pace of about 13 minutes per kilometre, when I could do it in about 9 minutes and 17 when I'm walk running. But I've had enough now. I think it's time to start walking back and have my lunch, and I'll see you at home. So it's about 10 to 5 now, and I've actually started editing today's video. and I had my lunch about 2:30 by the time I got back and had everything sorted. And I had 2 scrambled eggs with pan-fried mackerel and my usual salad with the sauerkraut. And when I was preparing the food, I was really wondering whether what my mother would say, your eyes are too big for your stomach. But surprisingly enough, I actually ate the whole lot, and I didn't realise how hungry I was, because when I got back I didn't feel that hungry, although I was quite hungry before I left. And yes, I did eat it, and yes, I did have a cup of tea with another Ferrero Rocher. So I did give in a little bit to the sugar craving, and I actually feel good now. And I do have to make sure that with all the exercise that I do eat, and that's the whole purpose. What I'd planned for breakfast I had with my lunch, because I knew that with all the exercise I'm doing, if I don't eat enough, I will wake up in the middle of the night, and that's what happened the night before. And last night I actually slept a lot better than the Wednesday night when I went for the exercise and I didn't have enough food and I had a really rubbish sleep. But yesterday I made sure I ate enough. So for dinner we had steak and vegetables, and I also had 2 more handfuls of cashew nuts, as well as when Mr. G got back from shopping, he'd actually bought snacks in terms of, I had half a pack of prawns while I was getting the kitchen ready and cooking dinner. So that turned out really well. And because it's so late, I'm going to leave the video here and I'm going to say good night. I hope you have a great evening, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow.